Hello. Welcome once again to my CSS beginners friendly series. In this episode, which is video number 19, we're going to be talking about floats in CSS. So the CSS float property is a positioning property used to push elements to the left or right inside a container or on a web page. Okay, let's demonstrate this with the help of our code editor and then our web browser. Okay, so before we can demonstrate that, let me take you to my web browser and then reload this page to clear our previous lesson demonstration. So now you can see we have a blank web page. Okay, and then inside our code editor, everything is, this is the default code for our HTML document. All right, okay, so how do we demonstrate floats in CSS? Okay, how do we do that? I'll first of all create a container, and to create a container you need div. Okay, you need div, so you put less than, and then you put div, and then we close it and then open it this way. Okay, good. So a div is a container. Now inside div we are going, but before that let's give it a class. Okay, so we're going to give it a class, and I hope you all know what class is. So we're going to give it a class called container. So this div is a container to contain whatever we're going to do. Okay, perfect. So we're going to, this div is going to contain an image and text. Okay, so we put image inside, which is img, and then we put the source to this image, that's src, and then where can we find this image? We put, this is where my image is, like this, and then you put alt attribute. Okay, so you put alt attribute there, and we'll leave it as empty. Good. So this is our first element inside our container. So the next thing we can talk about is p tag. Okay, you can also put p tag, which is paragraph, and then we'll put text inside this particular tag, which is p. Okay, so we're going to put text inside. So I'll put something like, this is a paragraph. Good. So we're going to duplicate this particular text. I'm going to duplicate that. So simply copy, and then I'm going to paste it here. Paste again, a couple of times. Let me wrap it this way. Okay, so I think this is okay. This is okay. Perfect. Now let's go to our web browser. Reload. Now we have this big image with some text beneath it. Let's go to use CSS to reduce the size of this image and then start working with our floats. All right, so what can we do? But before that, we're going to give this image a class. Okay, so let's give our image class, that way we can target it when we get to the CSS part. So we're going to give it a class, and then this is the image we're going to be floating around. So we put here floating. You can give it any name of your choice. Okay, so floating. Now we're going to target the main container, and then the image as well as our p tag. So we're first of all going to target our container. So our container is a class which is going to be dot, and then we put container this way, and then we're going to give it a border of 5 pixel solid red. So we can give it 5 pixel solid red. Good. Next, we're going to give it a height. Okay, our container, we want to give it a height. So give it a height of something like 720 pixels. Okay, so 720 px, like this. Good. Let's go to our web browser and see what is happening. Reload. Let me zoom out a little bit. So I'll click on this and then I'll zoom out so you can see it clearly. All right, so this is how it looks right now, and you can see our paragraph, our text here is not visible, so we need to increase the font size of our text. Okay, so to do so, we'll go back to our code editor, and then we'll go to CSS, and then we target P. Okay, so target your P tag, and then here you're going to put what we call font size, and then we can give it 5 EM units. Okay, EM, and then we'll go back to our web browser, reload this page, and now you can see our text looks bigger. Good. Next, we need to put this text inside and then send this image to the right hand side of our screen. Okay, we want to send this image to the right hand side of our screen using float. Okay, so I'll take you to the code editor, and then this time we need to target our image. Okay, and we give it a class of floating. Okay, so floating like this, and then we're going to float our image to the right. So just put float like this, and then you put right this way. Good. Now let's go to our web browser and then reload this page, and now you can see our image is floated to the right and our text is now inside. Okay, you can also float this text to the left and rather float the image to the you can float this text to the right and float your image to the left. Okay, how else can we demonstrate float? Let's clear everything here. Okay, clear everything, and then we'll go to our index.html, and instead of the paragraph, we're going to remove that and put another image. Okay, another image. So I'll just duplicate this line of code, Control D this way, and then I'll change this to 2 like this, and then this is second image. Okay, so I'll put second here, second. Good. And then we just change this to first image. So now we have first image and second image, and we have our container. So go to the CSS. Good. Now we're going to target our container like this, and then this container we are going to give it something like 6 pixel. That's border. Okay, so let's give it a border which is going to be 6 pixel solid. Okay, so 6 pixel solids red. Good. Next, we're going to give it a height of height of something like, let's say 800, okay, or 720. I think 720 is okay. So 720 pixel. Good. So now let's go to our web browser, reload, and now we have two images like this. Okay, two images like this. We can float this image to the right hand side. Okay, so we want to float this image to the right hand side, which is first image. Okay, so go to our web browser, our code editor, and we're going to target our first class, which is our first image, which is first. Then we simply do what? We simply put float, and because it's at the left hand side, we want to now float it right like this. Perfect. Float right. So now I'll go here and reload this page. You can see they've exchanged positions, so the image that was here is now floated to the right hand side. So guys, that's it. That's all about floating in CSS. It's very easy and simple. So that's it, guys. If this is your first time here on this YouTube channel, consider subscribing, because I have videos coming up on CSS and other tech related content.